Hi, I'm Lauren from LSP Actions and welcome to tutorial video number 3 for the pumpkin patch digital background. In this video I'm going to be moving a little bit faster than I did in video 1 and video 2, so if you're unsure about any of the steps I'm taking, please do go back and watch video 2 where I move a lot slower and explain everything. If you know what you're doing, you've seen the videos, or you're good at Photoshop, then you should find this video absolutely easy to follow. So let's get started. So as in the first edit, if you're watching this video first, please watch the edit before this because I go into a lot more detail about where everything is and how to do this. So you open up the Your Baby Here group, come on down onto the smart object here and double click to open up, turn the guide on, and let's place the image in. Again, if you have your image open already, you can copy and paste it in. So I'm going to be using this one here. You need to make sure the light is coming from the left, which it is in this image. So I'm just going to resize Baby here to fit within this circular shape here. Now I'm going to liquefy Baby slightly just to fit those feet in a little bit more. So you come up here to Filter, Liquefy. You can choose to show the backdrop or not. If you click Show Backdrop, this will show all the layers, which is really helpful because it can help you liquefy Baby around a little bit to suit that circular shape. So I'm just going to sort this little footy out a little bit here. The onesie Baby was wearing was slightly bagged out on the feet there. But aside from that, this image is edited, the skin is edited. So I would recommend editing the image first. I know it's so tempting to kind of jump straight in and add Baby, but editing first will mean you can get this finished nice and quick. This Baby was shot on the Perfect Posy by Louisa Dunn. But you can shoot from above, you can shoot in a bowl, you can shoot on the beanbag. So hit OK, turn the guide off and come up here to File, Save. Again, as with the first edit, this will bounce it back to the pumpkin patch digital background. When this is finished saving, you can go ahead and close it. And you will see there Baby has appeared within the circular area here. So I'm going to come and zoom in. Now for this Baby, we're going to be doing a complete cutout. If you're using Photoshop Creative Cloud, you will find this a little bit easier. As with everything in Photoshop, there are 10 ways to achieve the same result. So I'm going to be using a black brush on the layer mask. So make sure you click the layer mask. And black means hide and white means show. So I'm going to come over here and switch these to black. My opacity is 100%. I'm going to turn my flow up to around 50%, and I'm going to use a semi-hard brush. And I'm just going to come in and start painting this background away even more. Make sure you're on the layer mask. So I'm coming in closer to Baby now, and painting away. Right now, this is a very soft, rough cutout. So I'm using black, but I also have my finger on the X key of the keyboard to switch to right to white if needed. White means show. So for example, if you make a mistake like this, you can hit X or switch manually by clicking these little arrows and paint back in. When you have your rough selection, come in a little closer, make your brush down even harder on black and start cutting Baby out here. My brush isn't completely hard because Baby is wearing a fluffy onesie, and because of these natural shadows here are very dark, I don't have to be really specific about the cutout, but do try and be as accurate as you can. Now you can see here, hair is always tricky to cut out. I'm just doing a basic cut around the head here. And in a moment, I'm going to show you how to refine the hair if you need to just cut all the little hairs out. But Baby is going to be shadowed pretty much all the way around. So I don't need to be too specific about cutting the hair out on this one. But for the video purposes, I'm going to show you how to do that too, just in case you need to. You can find lots and lots of videos online about how to cut out subject selection. If you go onto YouTube and put subject selection, refine edge and things like that, you will get so many tutorials come up. There is no right and wrong way to do this. It's entirely basically up to you and for whatever suits your image. But basically you need to make as detailed as possible a cutout of baby here, because you can always add more in. You can paint shadows in and things like that. So I've gone around with a black brush and selected and painted away anything. Baby is still there, this is just the layer mask. So there are several ways now you can make baby look more realistic on this. We can hit V to move, just to make sure baby's in the right position here. Hit Control or Command T to bring up the free transform. We can resize if needed. If in doubt, make baby larger in the bowl, because obviously the image is about baby, so you want them to be as big as possible while still looking natural. So we can see right now this doesn't look very natural. It does look like baby has been cut and pasted on. So the important thing now is to start adding the shadows. Shadows underneath baby to blend in, and shadows above baby if needed. Because baby was shot in a nice dark, we have a nice dark shadow all the way around, which will help us nest baby in. The layers you're going to want to be using for this are the shadow under baby, make sure you're on the black layer mask, and the shadow over baby, again make sure you're on the black layer mask. Choose a white brush. Let's take the flow down a little bit, nice and big and soft, and I'm going to start painting a little bit of shadow under baby. You can hold down Shift and click the baby layer mask to see where the natural shadows are folding within your image at any point if you need to. So I'm just going to start using this to darken that background up a little bit. Now remember, shadows aren't always big, fluffy, fuzzy things. Quite often they're quite tailored. And these are just starting layers. You can add your own by coming down here, the little circle, this is add an adjustment layer. And you can choose any of these, brightness and contrast for example, levels, curves. And you can darken even more if needed. Let's darken that right down there to suit the natural shadows of baby. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now this has changed the whole image, this curves layer here. So I'm going to click on the white box, hold Control or Command and hit I to invert. And that makes it black, which means it's now hidden. You can go ahead and use your white brush, paint that flow down, just to start merging this background in with baby even more. So you can see this is creating a nice shadow. You can also come down here, open the base and turn on darken as well, which will add even darker layer. If your baby was shot on a paler background, you won't need to do this, but because my baby was shot on a darker background, which I think is a really good example for this, then I have used the darken there. And if not, you can always brighten the blanket too by turning it on. There are so many options. You can use your own adjustment layers, you can add further adjustments in. So now I've created this shadow around baby, I think I'm going to go ahead, switch to a black brush and just take some of this off a little bit here. Just lighten that area up there. Just keep switching black and white brush and until you're happy with how baby is nestling in. Now let's show you that hair selection I was talking about. Now you can see here, if we zoom in, and obviously if you're printing this big, you do need to be very careful with your selection. So I'm going to come up here, hold down Control or Command and click this layer mask. And this will give you a line of marching ants around your selection. Click on the image and come up to Select and Mask. I'm sorry if you can hear that squeaky noise in the background, that's my one of my twins. She thinks she's a bird and she likes to imitate them. So this will bring up the Select and Mask menu here. If you don't see it on red, click up here, View As, and click Overlay on red. You have 3 brushes here, normal brush, magic wand, and in the middle refine edge, so make sure you're clicked on that one. And brush this over any hair you want to pick up. If there's not a lot there, like in this image, it's not going to pick up a lot. But this will really help you see your selection and any of the areas you need to change and refine even further. If there's not a lot there, it will come up like this. But if you have stray hairs and wispy hairs, it will pick them up really well. And hit OK. Click back on the mask, grab your white brush, and just paint those in. If you want to refine even more, you can come up Select, Inverse, which changes the selection away from baby and selects everything else. Use a black brush to paint them away. And then you can refine even further with a hard brush if needed, on white or black depending. Like this. So that is how to paint and select baby. If you are completely removing baby from the background but you want them to fit within the digital, always turn on and off a little bit because you'll see any areas that you've missed. I can see there's a bit there, so I'm just going to grab a black brush and get rid of that. If you shot baby on a similar fabric, you can also, on a low opacity, bring the original background back in just a little bit, and that will really help blend baby. To do that, you grab a white brush, nice and soft, on a nice low flow, perhaps, let's say 15%. Click the layer mask, and use this to just lightly brush in, and this will start bringing some of those original shadows back in. And you can go ahead and edit this further. Again, you can click the baby group, transform, move baby, do whatever you need to do. You can add extra adjustment layers to the baby by clicking on baby, coming down to the adjustments, for example, I don't know, let's try a colour balance layer. You can choose all of these to change the temperature of baby, make them warmer perhaps. Just to really suit the digital even more. And again, you can invert and mask these on. You can do anything. There are no limits to the things you can do in Photoshop. It's just having the knowledge to be able to do them. So let's see a before and after there. And that's adding baby in. If you don't have it already, this digital background is available at www.lsp-actions.com. I'm Lauren. Thanks for watching.